So, your career was obviously taken off. I mean, Philadelphia Inquirer, then ESPN, you have a big show there, even though that only lasted like a year and a half.
Quite frankly,
only getting,
a year and a half, 327 shows.
And you had everybody on, but you're only getting more and more exposure on the network. And because of that, your negotiations with the network, they offer you, I think, a little under $2 million a year for 3 years. You're looking at what some of your colleagues are getting, and you rightly think you can get more.
Yeah.
Looking back on that period, would you have done anything differently?
I would say so. First of all, I would have taken the deal, because it's a hell of a lot better than taking nothing.
Although probably not taking it ends up being the best thing to ever happen
Possibly,
to you, right?
but it was a very, very tough time. If I had to say that I would do anything differently, I would have been far more knowledgeable at that time about the business. You see, because of my popularity, because of people screaming my name when I walked the streets or walked into an arena, I thought that defined popularity. I thought that equated to dollars. That combined with my work ethic and the fact that I was a tireless worker, et cetera, et cetera, I thought that was enough. But they had the data. And so their attitude was, we're not going to give more than this. I didn't have access to the data they had access to. So as business people, they knew what they were offering, even though one could easily argue that I deserved more. They knew the likelihood of me being able to get more elsewhere wasn't an option for me. So they made me what they thought was a fair offer. I thought it shortchanged me. And I said no, thinking that there would be an ongoing negotiation, not that talks would be shut down and ultimately my exposure would be minimized before a year later being completely let go. And so because those things happened, I had to really, really look at myself, look in the mirror, and recognize the fact that when you don't understand your own business, you don't deserve anything. You should be happy with what you get, because it's up to you to have an idea, at least, of what your value is, what your worth is. It's your job to make sure that you illuminate and accentuate your value in their eyes that comes close to justifying what you're asking for and what you're hoping they'll give you. And I didn't do that. And I didn't see it that way. And as a result, I ruffled feathers because of the manner in which I handled things. And they ultimately said, we can do without him. And it almost destroyed my career.
And this all happened only a short while after you become a father. You're let go. During kind of that period where you're jobless, what was your lowest point?
My lowest point was, me being unemployed and just sitting there in the months to follow, having no income, living off my savings, believing that I would never be allowed back to ESPN. And wondering, where am I going to go from here? Because my number one fear is not being able to provide for my family. And so because of that, my daughter's to be in a position where I'm wondering whether or not I can take care of them, that's a big, big, big time thing in the specter that's out there. Okay, they're babies. At the time, like this is hard. And I really, really put myself in a hole, never realizing it was gonna be like this, but it was.